गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतान् शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Dear friends, we are about to complete the bhashyam, the concluding bhashyam for this Shikshavalli. At the end of Shikshavalli, we have been seeing that Shankaracharya is making a comparative analysis of what is karma and what is vidya. Vidya means Brahma Vidya. So in the last class, we were in the context of the Grihasthashrama. The Purvapakshi was saying that Grihasthashrama is good enough because Grihasthashrama, there are more karmas in the Grihasthashrama. Almost all karmas are exclusively mentioned for Grihastha only. So where is the need for other ashramas? So that was the argument of Purvapakshi. And Shankaracharya was replying that there are several types of karmas, not merely your Agnihotra etc., Agnihotra, Yajna etc. There are other things. There are certain other internal disciplines like Brahmacharyam, Tapaha, Satyavadanam, Shamo, Damaha, Ahimsa etc. etc. These are all relating to the internal discipline of a person. You are talking about an external discipline. Apart from that, there is what is called an internal discipline. So that is what Shankaracharya pointed out. And he also quoted from the Brihadaranyaka Pravrajishyanvareham asmat sthanadasmi. So Pravrajishyanvareham asmat sthanadasmi. That is the line from Brihadaranyaka where Yajnavalkya, he tells his wife Maitreyi, Hare Maitreyi, I am renouncing from this asana, from this sthanam. Asana, from this sthanam means from this ashrama, from this grihastha I am renouncing. I want to take up pravrajya. So that is what he said. Then ityevamadi vidhi shruti linga darshanat. We read up to that point. So there are so many indications like this. There are so many examples like this in the Shrutis and Smrutis where people have renounced from this Grihastha and then who have taken up sannyasa. So there we stopped. Let us read the again the Purvapakshi comes up with another small query. So let us read. Karma prati Shruter yatnadhikya darshanad ayuktamati chet. Shruter yatnadhikya darshanad ayuktamiti chet. Ayuktamiti chet. Agnihotradi karma prati karma prati Shrutehe adhiko yatnaha Mahanscha karmanyayaso अनेक साधन साध्यत्वाद अग्निहोत्रादीनां तपो ब्रह्मचर्यादीनां च इतराश्रम कर्मणां गार्हस्थ्येपि समानत्वात् अल्पसाधनापेक्षत्वाच्चेतरेषां न युक्तः तुल्यवद् विकल्पः आश्रमिभिस्तस्य इति चेत्. So up to this point is Purvapaksha. Ashramibhi tasya iti chet na, that is the refutation. So let us see the Purvapaksha. Purvapakshi, what he is saying is Karma prati Shrutehe yatnadhikya darshanad. Shruti is taking so many pains. Shruti is devoting so much of time and attention to tell about karmas After all, your Upanishad is only at the end. It is something like a tail. So, say Upanishad, of course, it is not the tail. It is supposed to be the Upanishad, Shruti's head. Then anyway, the bulk, if you see the bulk of Veda, it devotes for karma only. So, Yatnadhikya Darshanat, Yatnadhikya, that is a lot of effort is taken by the Shruti. Yatna adhikyam. Adhikyam means excess. Yatna is effort. Yatna adhikya darshanat. Because you are seeing a bulk of Veda is dedicated only to Shruti. Karma prati means towards karma. Karma prati is towards karma. Shrutehe yatna adhikya darshanat. Because the Shruti is devoting so much of time. Ayuktam iti chet. Ayuktam means what you say about, say the other ashramas are there, Vanaprastha is there and Sannyasa is there, all that thing, it is not correct. So if you say like that, so that is the Sangraha Vakya in Purvapasha. There is a Sangraha Vakya in Siddhanta, there is a Sangraha Vakya in Purvapaksha also. So that Sangraha Vakya, the Purvapaksha is explaining why is it Ayuktam. Agnihotradi karma prati Shrutehe adhiko yatnaha. So Shruti is devoting so much of time and attention to explain all these Agnihotradi karma, various types of karmas, not only one type of Agnihotram, there are several types in that Agnihotra. And then Mahanscha Karmanyayasaha. In that karma, Mahan Ayasaha. Mahan cha Karmani Ayasaha. Ayasa means effort, strain. A human being has to put so much of strain there, because he has to collect all this, what is this, Hota, Udgata, all those people, Brahma and all those people there, he has to collect all those Ritviks. Then he has to collect a lot of money, a lot of accessories, a lot of sambharas. So all those things he has to collect. So there is a lot of effort, physical strain, mental strain, so much of strain is there. Mahanscha karmanyayasaha Aneka sadhya sadhanatwadi sadhana sadhyatvad Agnihotradinam. Agnihotradini Aneka sadhana sadhyani. Twad, if you want to understand this twat, you remove that twad and then you make it into, say, Prathama Vibhakti. That is Agnihotradini Aneka sadhana sadhyani. So that is Agnihotra, etc. They are achieved by so many several sadhana. They can be achieved by several sadhanas. You mean so many, you need so many accessories in order to achieve them. So that is it. So if you want to add one because Agnihotra is something which is achieved by so many accessories. If you want to say like that, you have to add this tvat. So that is the point. Aneka sadhana sadhyatvad Agnihotradinam means because Agnihotra etc. is of the nature of something which can be achieved only by so many sadhanas. So that is what it is. So if you remove that tvad, you can put it directly in that first, say, Prathama Vibhakti itself. Then Tapo Brahmacharyadinam cha itarashrama karmanam, and you are talking about this tapas, brahmacharya etc. etc. Because Siddhanti earlier said, you see, after all, karmas are so many. It is not as though Gruhastha, Agnihotra, etc. alone is not a karma. There are many other things like internal discipline. This tapas, satyavadanam, shama, dama, ahimsa, etc. etc. you spoke. They are common for this man also. It is not as though Gruhastha is this tapas, shama, dama, etc. are not prescribed for him. They are also prescribed for him. So, which means there is an external discipline prescribed, there is an internal discipline also prescribed, which means that he is burdened with so many things. So such a discussion came up in Gita Bhashya also, if you recall, at the beginning of the second Adhyaya, Bahulayasa. So much of ayasa is there, only it is put on the head of this Gruhastha. So that discussion came up. So the same Purvapaksha comes quite often. So, Tapo Brahmacharyadinam cha itarashrama karmanam, all these itarashrama karmas, that is all these activities like tapas etc. which are told in the context of other ashramas, that is brahmacharya, that is vanaprastha, sannyasa etc. Garhasthyepi samanatvat, garhasthyepi samanani evatani, that is they are applicable even in garhasya, they are equally applicable in garhasya. Because of that reason, Alpasadhanapekshans, Alpasadhanapekshvatvache itaresham You see this alpa sadhanapekshatvat cha itaresham. Itaresham means itaresham karmanam. The other things. What are the other things? Tapa, brahmacharya, and then satyavadanam, shamaha, damaha, etc. All these things, they don't require any accessories. You can just sit in your house and then alpa sadhana apeksha. Alpa sadhana apeksha means they don't need, they don't require the presence of so many sadhanas, etc. You have to simply sit at home and then you have to simply do some meditation. So that is it is so he is oversimplifying the entire issue. This Purvapakshi is oversimplifying the entire issue and saying, you see, for karma, for this Agnihotra, I have to get so many things. Whereas your tapas, shama, dhamma, etc., it is so simple. You have to sit at home and then you have to, what all you have to do is to sit on some sort of mattress and then you have to do some meditation. That's all. You can even skip lunch. So you are also saving on that. So that is what he says. Tapo Brahma say garhasyepi samanatvad alpasadhana apekshvatvacha itaresham. So this is alpasadhana apeksha. For all these things like tapas, satyavadanam, what is so great about speaking truth? So that is what he says. So he has oversimplified the matter. This shama, dhamma, okay, you can control your mind, what is there. So anyway, it is a question of experience, whether it is easier to do karma or whether easier to do all these things. A person can happily sit there and then write a check and then do all the karmas. But then this is something where he has to follow this vratam, satya vrata, for example. He has to continuously tell he should be always aware about telling the truth only. And then this brahmacharya, tapas, shama, dhamma, indriya nigraha, this restraint of the mind and also restraint of the senses. So this is something which is really, to achieve which people they renounce and then they go to forest and then they sit there. So how is it possible for a grihastha? But anyway, Purvapakshi is saying that. Then itaresham na yuktaha tulyavad vikalpaha ashramibhistasya na yuktaha tulyavat vikalpaha. As though these two are equal, tulyavat, as though these two are equal, you are providing these two alternatives. Alternatives means grihastha versus other ashramas. You are providing two alternatives as though these two things are equal. Whereas grihastha is much superior to other ashramas. So that's what he is saying. Because grihastha he is having the external discipline plus internal discipline. In your case, you are after all, you are sitting there and then you are sitting in a corner and then you are doing this shama, dhamma, etc. Observing this shama, dhamma, etc. So how can it be equal to grihastha? So that is one point of view. So na yuktaha tulyavat vikalpaha. Vikalpa means an alternative, a choice between the two. So tulyavad, how can there be a vikalpa? How can you propose an alternative? How can you postulate a sort of alternative between these two? Then ashramivihi tasya. Tasya means gruhastasya. We are now in the context of a gruhastha. Tasya, you can note down, otherwise tasya you will not know the meaning. Tasya means a gruhastasya. Ashramivihi katham vikalpaha bhavet. That is, how can you compare this gruhastha with all these ashramivihi? See, how can you compare this grihastha with other people in the other ashramas, that is vanaprastha, sannyasa, etc. Because grihastha is burdened with many more duties, many more responsibilities. So that is it. Iti chet na. So is the Purvapaksha clear?
Yes.
Iti chet na.
Iti chet na.
Janmantara krutanugrahat.
Janmantara krutanugrahat.
So this is the Sangraha Vakya. Idhet na janmantara kruta anugrahat. I'll explain. Yaduktam karmani shruter adhiko yatna ityadi.
Yaduktam karmani shruter adhiko yatna ityadi.
Nasau doshaha. Yato janmantara krutamapyagnihotradi lakshanam karma.
Janmantara krutamapyagnihotradi lakshanam karma.
Brahmacharyadi lakshanancha. Anugrahakam bhavati vidyotpattim prati.
Anugrahakam bhavati vidyotpattim prati.
Yena janmanaiva virakta drishyante kechit.
Janmanaiva virakta drishyante kechit.
So the Purva Siddhanti is saying No, my dear, it is not so easy. Doing this Shama, Dama, etc. is not so easy. It requires so much of practice. It requires so much of, say, concentration. You have to continue. That self-purification is not such an easy thing. You can happily perform a karma without any sort of self-purification. But then this thing called tapas, swadhyaya and all these things, they do require a lot of, say, presence. Your mind is to be present here. Whereas in karma, your body is, if the body is present, it is good enough. Your mind may be wandering elsewhere. But here, your mind has to be present and your mind has to undergo that purification. So there, what he says is, Janmantara Kruta Anugrahat. This Janmantara Kruta Anugraha in the case of a person, in the case of a sort of somebody who is, say, by nature means by birth itself, somebody because of the Purva Janma Kruta Punyam and all that, Purva Janma Kruta Punya, a person is born a decent person with a Sattvika Guna. You see, a person who is endowed with this Sattvika Guna, it only shows that he has done some good deeds in the earlier lives. Because of the good deeds, now all those good deeds have given a blessing to him. All those good deeds done in the past, they have blessed him so that he is born with some good tendencies, good vasanas, good samskaras. So that is the point here. So Janmantara Kruta Anugrahat. Anugraha means a favor, a blessing. So this, whatever you have done in Janmantara, in the previous birth, so it is now blessing you because of the blessing of some good deeds done earlier. So that is what he says. Why? Who? In whose case? In the case of a person who is born with some good nature. In the case of a person who is born with sattvika nature. Then he is explaining, Brahmacharyadi lakshanancha anugrahakam bhavati vidyotpat yaduktam karmani shruter adhiko yatna ityadi. So you have said, Shruti is devoting a lot of attention for karma, etc. Nasav dosha. There is nothing wrong in that. Nasav dosha means there is nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong in that. Why? Yataha, because Janmantara Krutamap Yagnihotradi Lakshanam Karma. So you have done, all through this life, you have done some Agnihotra, you have done in a very, very perfect way, you have undergone some discipline. So that discipline, it has also resulted in some amount of internal discipline. It is not as though all that thing is waste. After all, when he is doing so much of karma, it has resulted in some amount of internal discipline too. So Agnihotradi Lakshanam Karma, Brahmacharyadi Lakshanam Cha. So this is also important. This Brahmacharyadi Lakshanam Cha. This is Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means at least now and then he is doing some satsang. He is going to some satsang and then listening. Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means it can be taken in both ways here. That is observing celibacy, purity in personal character, personal conduct. That is one way. And the other thing is thinking about Brahma, trying to know what exactly is the Supreme. So that means he is at least now and then he is attending some satsang. So like that. So Brahmacharyadi Lakshanancha Anugrahakam bhavati vidyotpattim prati. Vidyotpattim prati. That is for the sake of, say, vidyotpatti. For the sake of the dawn of knowledge. Vidyayaha utpatti. The dawn of knowledge. For the sake of the dawn of knowledge. Anugrahakam bhavati. It becomes helpful. It becomes a blessing. It is benevolent, it is blessing, it gives its blessing. All the good karma which you have done earlier is benevolent to you now, it is giving its blessing to you now. So that is what it is. Anugrahakam. You understand the word Anugrahakam? Sometimes the Swamijis, when we invite Swamijis, we tell. So Swamiji will now give his Anugraha Bhashana. Anugraha Bhashana means he is bestowing his kindness on all. He is giving his blessings to all. So that is the meaning. Anugraha. So Anugrahakam bhavati vidyotpattim prati. Yena means by which janmanaiva virakta drishyante kechit. By birth, janmana eva. By birth, some people they are seen viraktaha drishyante. They are seen to be viraktaha. Janmanaiva. A person even by birth, somebody is seen, a person who is not very covetous, not very greedy, very contented, somebody who is having this sattvika bhavas. So it is like that. Is that okay?
Yes.
So somebody who is having this sattvika bhavas, endowed with sattvika nature. So that is all because of this purva, the blessing of the good work done in the earlier, say, lives. Drishyante kechit. Then let us read. Kechittu
केचित्तु
karmasu pravruttaha
कर्मसु प्रवृत्ताः
aviraktaha vidya vidveshinaha.
अविरक्ताः विद्याविद्वेषिणः.
So kechittu. Tu means on the other hand. On the other hand, some other people. Kechit means some others. Kechit karmasu pravruttaha. Those who are very actively addicted or attached to karmas. Karmasu pravruttaha. Aviraktaha. Absolutely no sense of vairagya. Absolutely no dispassion. Absolutely no sense of detachment. Then vidya vidveshinaha. Those who are not at all bothered about this vidya. If you talk about Brahma Vidya, they will laugh at you. They will think that we are all some sort of demented people or something like that. So Vidya Vidveshinaha. Then Tasmat Janmantara Samskarebhyo Viraktanam
जन्मांतरकृत संस्कारेभ्यो विरक्तानां
आश्रमांतर प्रतिपत्तिरेवेश्यते
आश्रमांतर प्रतिपत्तिरेवेश्यते
आश्रमांतर प्रतिपत्तिरेव इष्यते प्रतिपत्तिरेवेश्यते. Okay. अतः तस्मात् therefore जन्मांतरकृत संस्कारेभ्यः विरक्तानां. Viraktanam means for those who have achieved that vairagya, for those who are having that vairagya as their nature. Because of what? Janmantara Kruta Samskarebhya. Because of this Janmantara Kruta Samskara. Because of the good impressions. Samskara means the good impressions, predispositions. Because of the good deeds done. Every activity we do, it leaves some samskara in the mind. That we know. Every activity we do, suppose you donate some 100 rupees to somebody now. So that leaves some good feeling in your mind. And again you donate something else, you do some other good deed. That gives a good impression in your mind. All those good samskaras are there. So this accumulation of good samskaras, they will result in this sattvika guna. So that itself will gradually lead you to vairagya. So like that. Janmantara Kruta Samskarebhya Viraktanam. Those who are viraktas because of some good deeds done earlier. Ashramantara Pratipattireva Ishyate. Ashramantara. Ashramantara means other than Gruhastha. Now where the context is Gruhasthashrama. Ashramantara Pratipatti. That is, other than Gruhasthashrama, they will go to Vanaprastha, they will take up sannyasa. Tadeva Ishyate. That is what is desired. Ishyate. Ishyat. Ishyat and Ishyat, wish are one and the same. So Ishyate, they are the desired. Then Karma Phala Bahulyacha.
Karma Phala Bahulyacha.
So a Karma Phala, he is giving another reason. There is a second reason. The first reason is Janmantara Kruta, all these things. The second reason given is Karma Phala Bahulyacha.
Karma Phala Bahulyacha.
Putra Swarga Brahmavarchasadi Lakshanasya Karma Phalasya.
Putra Swarga Brahmavarchasadi Lakshanasya
Karma Phalasya Asankheyatvat.
Asankheyatvat.
Tat Praticha Purushanam Kama Bahulyat.
तत्प्रतिच पुरुषाणां कामबाहुल्यात्
तदर्थः श्रुतेरधिको यत्नः कर्मसु उपपद्यते.
तदर्थः श्रुतेरधिको यत्नः
कर्मसु उपपद्यते. Okay. Karma phala bahulyat means karma phala ani bahulani santi. That is the simple sentence. If you want to add because, then you have to add tvat. Karma phala bahulyat means because karma phala is they are so extensive in nature. The varieties of results, the varieties of fruits of karma, there are so many varieties of fruits of karma. So karma phala bahulyam. Bahulyam means plenty. Because of the plentiful nature of the karma phala. That is a better expression. Because of the plentiful nature of the karma phala. Karma phala bahulyacha. Then what are all they? Putra, Swarga, Brahmavarchasadi Lakshanasya Karma Phalasya. This karma phalam means the fruit of a karma. What are they? Attaining fruits, putra, attaining children, putra. Swarga, attaining some heavenly loka. Brahmavarchas again is something which is desired. Earlier we saw Brahmavarchasa, that was also desired in another earlier mantra. Adi Lakshanasya. Karma phala which is of this nature. Adi Lakshanasya means something which is karma phala which is of this nature. Of the nature of getting fruit, getting children, getting swarga, getting brahmavarchas, etc. etc. Asankheyatvat. That is uncountable. Sankhya means a number. Sankhyanam means counting. Sankheyam means that can be counted. Asankheyam is that which cannot be counted. Sankhya, you know the word Sankhya. Sankhya is number. Sankhyanam means counting. Sankhyayam means that which can be counted. Asankhayam is that which cannot be counted. So countless, let us say. There are countless results of good karmas. There are countless results. So that is why this Shruti is devoting so much of time. It is something like a huge mega mall, as you said. In that mega mall, there are so many things. And for a sannyasi, he is above all that. That is a different thing. So, sannyasi's room may be a small room, but then all other the things, there are so many there. So that it is like that. Asankhayatvat. And tatpraticha purushanam kama bahulyat. Tatprati purushanam kama bahulyam vartate. Because, so for that, if you want to add because, you say tvat. Karma bahulyat, say kama bahulyat. Because the desire also is too much. Because the desires are also too many. Towards all these things, towards all these goals, the desires are also too many. So therefore, tadarthaha shrutehe adhiko yatnaha karmasu upapadyate. For that, for all that, Shruti is devoting so much of time, and it is very, very appropriate. Shrutehe adhiko yatnaha upapadyate. Upapadyate means it is quite in place, it is quite proper, quite appropriate. So that is it. Yeah, tat prati, towards that, tat prati, tan prati, tat prati, that karma phalam. Karma phalasya asankhayatvat. Tat refers to karma phalam.
Okay.
Tat refers to karma phalam. Karma phalam is asankhayam, countless, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tat prati means towards that. Towards that, purushanam kama bahulyat. Purushanam means of all the people. Kama bahulyam means desires are also too many. Towards that. Then, tadartha shrute adhiko yatnaha. Okay, then ashisham bahulya darshanat.
Ashisham bahulya darshanat.
Idam me syat iti.
Idam me syat iti.
So right from childhood, the child keeps on asking, I want this, I want that. Idam me syat means, I want this, may I have this, let me have this, let me have this. May idam syat. For me, idam syat. Let me have this, let me have this. Your children will be asking, oh, you go take them to a shop, they will say, I want this, I want this, I want this. So it's like that. As the human being grows up also, he has so many desires. Whatever he sees, he wants. So it is like that. Ashisham bahulya darshanat. Ashihi means desire. Ashihi again is desire. In fact, Ashir Vachana is, may your desires be fulfilled. It is something like that. Ashihi. It is something, a blessing that what all you desire, you may achieve. So it is like that. Ashisham bahulya darshanat. Bahulyam means plenty. Plentitude. Bahulyam. Plentitude. The desires are so many, plentiful in nature. So because of that, and what type of thing? Idam me syat, of that nature. Then another reason, Shankaracharya is giving another reason. Upayatvacha. Upaya bhutani hi karmani. Not bhutani. Upaya bhutani hi karmani. Vidyam prati ityavochama. Avochama. So upayatvacha. So the third reason why Shruti is devoting so much of attention and time. The first reason is about Janmantara Kruta Agnihotra Lashanam, that is one thing. Second one is Karma Phala Bahulyacha, that is there are so many plentiful desires. So many types of desires and so many types of results. Then the third one is Upayatvacha, because this karma is also an upaya for Vidya Prapti. We have seen it earlier. Karma is leading to Chitta Shuddhi, and by giving that Chitta Shuddhi, karma we compared it to tilling the land. If you take the case of agriculture, say harvesting, let us say, you have to till the land first, and then only you have to sow seeds, and then you have to put water, etc., etc. So karma is something like preparing the whole field. So upayatvacha, because karma is an upaya. Karma upayaha, upayam, upayaha only. Upayaha is masculine. Karma is an upaya. Upaya means a strategy, a means. Upayatva. Upaya in Telugu, we use it in a different way. Upaya means, oh, he is having an upaya. Let us say, suppose he is having a good idea in order to solve a problem. So that is what we say. Suppose there is some difficult situation. So somebody suggests one plan. So some strategy. So here, of course, it is something similar only. Upayatvacha. Karma is a strategy. It is a means. It is a means. And whatever is achieved by the means is upeya. Upaya is karma. Upeya, that is something to be achieved, is vidya. Upaya, strategy is karma. Upeya, that is something to be achieved by this upaya, is upeya, that is vidya. Then upaya bhutani hi karmani vidyam prati ityavochama. We have already told earlier. Avochama means we have already told earlier that upaya bhutani hi karmani vidyam prati. Vidyam prati means for achieving this vidya, for attaining this vidya. Upaya bhutani. This is all this favorable preparatory ground. Karma is the preparatory ground in order to attain vidya. Then upayecha adhiko yatnah, read upayecha adhiko yatnah kartavyo nopeye.
Upayecha adhiko yatnah kartavyah na upeye.
Okay. Upayecha adhikah yatnah kartavyah. That is, you have to put greater efforts in that. You have to put great effort in upaya. That is, in order to achieve that Chitta Shuddhi. Achieving that Chitta Shuddhi is a very time-consuming thing. And that is why we say that for so many, say, lives, a person may not get moksha. Because he has to achieve that purity of mind. Bahunam janmanam ante. Jnanavan mam prapadyate. So that is what is the Gita line. Bahunam janmanam ante. So, but of course, it can happen in one janma also. It depends on the seriousness of a person. It depends on the shraddha of a person. It is not as though we should not resign to the idea that okay, in this janma nothing can happen. Krishna himself has said, you have to take so many janmas. There is no question of my getting any jnanam or anything. Okay, I will slowly go. Today I will go to this pub. Today I will go to some other place. So we should not resign ourselves to that idea. So where is that? Upayecha adhiko yatnah kartavyah. So a lot of strain has to be put for this upaya. Now upeya. Upeya is only telling. Okay, you are Brahma. It is telling. And then somebody who is who has attained some maturity of mind, he will get attracted to that, and then he will see. He will do then Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana on that. So it is like that. So you understood the words upaya and upeya?
Yes.
Words? Huh?
Yes.
Okay. So karma is an upaya for jnanotpatti. So that is it. Though it is supposed to be a arad upakarakam. Arad upakarakam is remotely upakarakam. Not directly upakarakam. I explained the two words, sakshad upakarakam, arad upakarakam. Of course, one more word we are going to see, antaranga sadhanam, etc. That also I will see. I will explain. Then karma nimittatvat vidyayaha.
Karma nimittatvat vidyayaha.
Yatnantaranarthakyam iti chet. Yatnantaranarthakyam iti chet. Yatnantara anarthakyam iti chet. So another Purvapaksha. What he is saying is, if you are, when you are conceding, when you are agreeing that karma is leading to vidya, then where is the need for this Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana? That is the Purvapaksha which is going to say. Karma nimittatvad vidyayaha yatnantaranarthakyam iti chet. So that is the Sangraha Vakya. He is going to explain. Karmabhyayeva purvopachita durita pratibandhakshayadeva
purvopachita durita
pratibandhakshayadeva vidyotpadyate chet. Vidya utpadyate chet. Karmabhyah pruthak Upanishad Shravanadi Yatnonarthaka iti chet. Iti chet. So up to that point is Purvapaksha. Iti chet na. So this is Siddhanta. Okay, I will explain the Purvapaksha. So he says karma nimittatvad vidyayah. Again that tvat is there. Vidya is karma nimittam is the line. Vidya is karma nimittam. Karma nimittatva, because, if you want to add a because, Karma nimittam vidya. Vidya means vidya is achieved by karma. If you want to add a because vidya is achievable by karma. Because vidya is achievable by karma. If you want to add one because, you have to add that tvat. Karma nimittatvad vidyayaha. Because karma is the strategy in order to attain vidya. Then yatnantara anarthakyam. Yatnantara, some other effort. What you are saying about Shravana, Manana, etc., they are the yatnantara. Yatnantara means Shravana, Manana. Yatnantaranam anarthakyam. Tesham anarthakyam. All the futility or uselessness of all those yatnas. So that is what it is. You see, when vidya can be achieved by karma itself, then he is oversimplifying the matter. That is the problem. He is oversimplifying. He says, the Purvapakshi is oversimplifying and saying, okay, by karma itself you are achieving vidya. Where is the need for Shravana Manana? So that is it. So iti che yatnantara anarthakyam. That is all other means like Shravana Manana, etc. It is all anarthakam. Anarthakam means purposeless, useless. Iti chet. Then he is explaining karmabhya eva purvopachita durita pratibandhakshayadeva. Then what is the purpose of karma? How is this karma acting? Karma is actually neutralizing the obstacles created by the sins of the past lives. So purvopachita, that is something which has been accumulated in previous lives. What is that? Purvopachita durita. Durita means papam, a sin. Some sin which has been accumulated in previous lives, gathered in previous lives. That is a pratibandha. That is an obstacle. Pratibandha is an obstacle. Pratibandha kshaya deva. This karma is adding to the kshaya. Kshaya means cancellation. Cancellation of the obstacle called sin, which is because of the previous bad deeds. So karma is that way, it is so useful. Kshaya deva. Vidyotpadyate is vidya utpadyate chet vidya. If there is a dawn of knowledge, vidya utpadyate chet, karmabhyaha pruthak means apart from these karmas, karmabhyaha pruthak means separate. You know that word, pruthak. Karmabhyaha pruthak, apart from karmas, Upanishad Shravanad yatno anarthaka iti chet. All this Upanishad Shravana, etc. is anarthakam, it is all purposeless. Iti chet, if you say so, na. Let us read. Na niyama bhavat. Nahi pratibandhakshayadeva vidyotpadyate. Natvishvara prasada tapodhyanadhyanushthanad. Iti niyamo asti. So this iti niyamaha asti. Asti has to be connected to na asti. So na asti. So you see, let us read this line. Na niyama bhavat. Niyama bhavat. Niyama means a rule, a guarantee. By karma you are achieving vidya. There is no such guarantee. There is no niyama, there is no rule. Karma is only, leading you to chitta shuddhi. Karma is only removing the obstacles. When you are tilling the land, you are getting some boulders, some stones and all those things. You are only removing those boulders. You are removing those stones and making the ground even, making the ground level. So apart from that, that itself is not the thing. After that you have to do a lot of activity. So like that, the karma is removing the obstacles. So niyama bhavat means there is no rule, there is no guarantee that karma itself is giving you vidya. Then what else? Nahi pratibandhakshayadeva vidya utpadyate. By mere neutralizing of these pratibandhas. Pratibandha means obstacles. By mere neutralizing or removing these obstacles, vidya is not going to dawn on a person. Then natu Ishvara prasada tapodhyanad anushtanad iti niyamaha asti. And not Ishvara prasada tapa dhyanadi anushtanad. Now you see here Shankaracharya has not mentioned Shravana Manana Nididhyasana, whereas we have to assume in this Ishvara prasada, we have to assume assume that these are all because of this Ishvara prasada. Ishvara prasada means because of the grace of God. By the grace of God, you see this Vanamalakara, he gives this explanation for this Ishvara prasada. Ishvara prasada padam. Vanamalakaram is Achyuta Krishnananda. He is writing, Ishvara Prasada Padena Tad Hetu Bhuta Upanishad Shravanadi Yatno Lakshyate. By this word, Ishvara Prasada, it is intended, there is an intended meaning. Lakshana. Lakshyate means it is intended. What is it that is intended? Tad Hetu Bhuta Upanishad Shravanadi Yatraha Lakshyate. So Upanishad Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, etc., they are indicated by this word called Ishvara Prasada. So though Shankaracharya has not specifically mentioned, the context is that. The context is now that only. Say Prakrutatvacha, he says, Ishvara Prasadasya Anushteyatvat Shravanadi Yatnasya Prakrutatvacha. Prakrutatvam means it is the present context is that. Shravanadi Lakshanasya Prakrutatvacha, Yatnasya Prakrutatvacha, Shravana, etc. This is also an effort. Shravanadi Yatnasya. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, they are the Yatnas. That is the Prakrutam. Prakrutam is, that is the present topic. The topic under discussion. Prakrutam is, the subject under discussion is that. So, Natu Ishvara Prasada Tapodhyana Dhyanushthanaditi Niyamaha Asti. Niyamaha, there is no guarantee that by karma alone you will get Vidya and not by Ishvara Prasada, by performance of this tapas, dhyana, etc. By the word Ishvara Prasada we have to take Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, which is the result of that Ishvara Prasada. Which is the result of that God's grace. By God's grace only, this sort of desire for mumuksha, desire for moksha arises. What is that line? Say, Anugraha Deva Pumsam Advaita Bhavana. There is one such line. But it is only by Daivanugraha that this Advaita Bhavana, this sort of desire for mumuksha and all these things, the Ishvaranugraha Deva Pumsam Advaita Bhavana or some such line is there. So like that, it is by the grace of God that you become a mumukshu. Not everybody becomes a mumukshu. So it is that. Then Ahimsa Brahmacharyadinancha
Ahimsa Brahmacharyadinancha
Vidyam Prati Upakarakatvat
Vidyam Prati Upakarakatvat
Sakshadevacha Karanatvat
Sakshadevacha Karanatvat
Sakshadevacha Karanatvat Shravana Manana Nididhyasananam.
Sakshadevacha Karanatvat Shravana Manana Nididhyasanadinam.
Okay. So this word also, if you remove this tvat and then say Shravana Manana Nididhyasanani Sakshadeva Karanani. Sakshat Karanani. Shravana Marana Nididhyasanani Sakshat Karanani. That is Shravana Marana Nididhyasanam. They are direct means. For what? For moksha. So if you want to add because, then you have to add tvat both ways. So Sakshadevacha Karanatvat. Karanani, you remove that and then you put Karanatvat. Then this Shravana Marana Nididhyasanadinam, you add, put them in Shashti Bahuvachanam. So Shravana Manana Nididhyasana etc., they are the Sakshat Karanam. It is also called Antaranga Sadhana. You see, this Achyuta Krishnananda writes, Sanyasashrama Karmanam Ahimsadinam api Vidyam Prati Antaranga Sadhanatvena Tairvina Karmabhihi Kshena Papasyapi Vidyodaya Asambhavat. So this Ahimsa, Ahimsa, etc., they are the Antaranga Sadhanas. Ahimsa, Tapa, Brahmacharya, all these things are Antaranga Sadhanani. Antaranga Sadhanam and Bahiranga Sadhanam, there are two words we saw in Gita Bhashya. You see, karma means, for example, Agnihotra, etc., and then all this Panchamahayajna, etc., etc. Once a person becomes a jnani, they may or may not be there. If you are a Grihasthashrama, for the sake of being a role model to others, you may be performing them. But the result of it is not coming to you. All the karmas, the result will not come to you. Whatever karma you do, when you are a jnani. When a sannyasi is there, suppose there is a sannyasi and a jnani, for him all these karmas are not at all there. But then ahimsa, satyam, akrodha means that this absence of anger. So ahimsa, non-violence, satyam, truthful nature, absence of anger, absence of greed. So all these things, they are there. They become the characteristics of that person. They are to be there. It is Jnani does not mean an intellectual activity. Jnani is a purified person. First of all, he is a purified person, and then a realized person. The first level is he is a purified person, and the second level is he is a realized person. So this is the process, isn't it? So first of all, one has to get purified, and that purification has to continue. And it is only when the purification continues, then only he will become a realized person. So that is the point. So that is why it is called Antaranga Sadhana. Antaranga means that which remains even in a Jnani. Ahimsa is something, quality which remains even in a Jnani. Satyam, truthfulness, is something which remains even in a Jnani. Then Akrodha, absence of anger and all these things, absence of greed and all these things, they are all things which continue to be there even in a Jnani. So that is the point. So that is why they are called Antaranga. Antaranga means ingrained, innate. They become the innate nature of that person. Antaranga sadhana. Whereas karma may or may not be there. Karma will drop off in the case of a sannyasi. Okay. Where are we? Vidyam prati upakarakatvat, sakshadevate karanatvat, shravana marana nididhyasananam. Did you understand this line?
Yes, sir.
Shravana marana nididhyasana, they are the sakshat karanani. Then ataha siddhanyashramantarani. Siddhani ashramantarani. That is ashramantarani, that is other than grihastha, the grihastha the other ashramas are also siddhani, means they are also established. They are very much there. So established is a better word. So they are also their presence you can't deny, you can't ignore, established. Then sarveshancha adhikaro vidyayam param cha shreyaha kevalaya vidyaya eva iti siddham.
Param cha shreyaha kevalaya
Vidyaya siddham. Okay. So by this samuchayavada nirakaranam is done. Samuchayavada means you have to combine karma with vidya. That sort of vadam, that sort of argument is dismissed. So this last line is sarvesham cha adhikaraha vidyayam. Vidyayam means in this Brahma Vidya, sarvesham cha adhikaraha. Everybody has got eligibility. Everybody has got an eligibility means every ashrama. Brahmacharya ashrama, Gruhastha ashrama, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa, all these ashramas, they have eligibility for, say, Vidya, Brahma Vidya. It is somebody should not think this Brahma Vidya is only for sannyasis, because the Mimamsakas, their argument is that only some physically handicapped people, they have to become sannyasis, and for them only this Brahma Vidya is there. It is not that. Brahma Vidya is not for physically handicapped people. It is for everyone. A brahmachari, if he is wise enough, or if that past karma is so dominant in him, he may become a mumukshu. A gruhastha may become a mumukshu. A vanaprastha may become mumukshu. After taking up sannyasa also, somebody may still, his mind may be lingering on this world. He may physically take up sannyasa ashrama, but his mind may not be there. So, but then sannyasa ashrama also, it is the highest preparatory ground for say moksha, for this vidya, isn't it? So all these ashramas, for all the people in all ashramas, this there is adhikara, that eligibility for moksha is very much, vidya is very much there. Then paramcha shreyaha means that supreme shreyas. What is that? Moksha or liberation. What you call emancipation, whatever it is, freedom from all bonds. Paramcha shreyaha kevalaya vidyaya eva iti siddham. Kevalayaha vidyaya eva. Vidyayaha eva. That is Panchami Vibhakti. Vidyayaha kevalaya eva. Only by that iti siddham. It is established. So that is where it is. Then say Brahmavalyam Prathamo Nuvakaha will come to this. Before that, there is again a Shanti mantra. Let us read this Shanti mantra. Om Shanno Mitrashyam Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnururukramaha Namo Brahmane. We will read Namaste Vayo त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि. No, that is at the end. Brahmavadisham, that is over. Here, vadishyami, ratam vadishyami, satyam vadishyami, tanmam avatu, tadvaktaram avatu, avatu mam, avatu vaktaram. Om shanti shanti shanti. Again, there is the sahana avatu, it is there. We will read that also. Sahana avatu, sahanau bhunaktu, saha viryam karavavahai, tejasvi navadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om shanti shanti shanti. So this is the Prathamonuvaka of Brahmavalli. Brahmavalli is the second Valli. We have now completed the Shiksha Valli successfully. Now we are entering into the most crucial Valli called Anandavalli or Brahmanandavalli or Brahmavalli. There, in any way you can say Brahmavalli it is called, Brahmanandavalli or Anandavalli, whatever you want. So here again Shankaracharya is giving a small introductory bhashya as to why, again as to the relevance of this particular invocation. So Shamno Mitraha etc. they have been commented upon. And Sahanavavatu also we have seen in another Upanishad. Sahanavavatu in our earlier Upanishad, Kathopanishad etc. we have seen that Vyakhya. But here again Shankaracharya is giving this Vyakhya. We will go through that. Shanno Mitra Ityadi. You got that bhashyam? Shanno Mitra Ityadi. Atita Vidya Praptyupa.
Atita Vidya.
Okay, Atita Vidya. From there it is there.
Yeah.
Okay, from Shanno Mitra Ityadi. That is that is introduction. Atita Vidya Praptyupasarga Prashamanartha.
Atita Vidya Praptyupasarga Prashamanartha.
Shanti Pathita.
Shanti Pathita.
Idanim tu Vakshyamana Brahma Vidya Praptyupasargopashamanartha.
Vakshyamana Brahma Vidya
Praptyupasargopashamanartha. Shanti Pathyate.
Shanti Pathyate.
Okay. Shanno Mitra Ityadi. So, Atita Vidya Praptyupasarga Prashamanartha Shantihi. You see, Atita Vidya. Atita Vidya is whatever Vidya has already been told. And what is it that has been told? Upasana. Atita Vidya, whatever we have seen is that Samhitopanishad, that is Upasanas have been told. So, to say Atita Vidya Prapti Upasarga Prashamanartha. Upasarga, obstacle. Prashamanam. Prashamanam means avoidance, removal. That is to avoid the obstacles for the earlier Vidya. That Shanti Pathita. Shanti was already read. And Idanim tu, now, tu means on the other hand, now Vakshyamana Brahma Vidya Praptyupasarga. Vakshyamana means which is going to be told. Vakshyamana Brahma Vidya Prapti Upasarga Prashamanartha. That is, in order to, the purpose of this Shanti Mantra is the what is going to be told. To avoid the obstacles. First of all, to avoid the obstacles or the obstacles which may stand in the way of the Vidya which is going to be told. So that is what is the whole meaning. So in order to avoid the obstacles which may confront the further the next chapter. So this is a prayer to say that let us not have many obstacles. Of course, we are likely to have one obstacle, that is, I will be going out of the country for about 2 months. So that is one obstacle. Apart from that, let there not be any obstacles, let us pray. So that is the point. Vakshyamana Brahma Vidya Prapti Upasarga Upashamanartha. Upashamana means all this subside, they have to subside, they have to cool down, they have to calm down. So Shanti Pathyate Shanno Mitra iti Sahanavavatu iti cha. Shanno Mitra iti Sahanavavatu iti cha. So this Shanno Mitra, Sahanavavatu, all these both these things, they are being read for avoiding any future obstacles in the study of this Brahmavalli. So that is it. Shanno Mitra Ityadi Purvavat Spashtam. Purvavat Spashtam means your book says Spashtam or anything else?
not this line is not.
Line itself is not there. Anyway, Shanno Mitra, etc., it has already been so mentioned. Then Sahana Vavatu,
Sahana Bhavatu.
you have it?
Yeah.
Now Shishyacharyav
Now Shishyacharyo
Sahaiva Avatu Rakshatu.
Sahaiva Avatu Rakshatu.
This Sahana Vavatu we had studied in Kathopanishad. Okay, anyway, this is the revision for us. Saha Nau Avatu. Saha means together. Now is Me Nau Naha. That is two of us. That is in Dvitiya Vibhakti. Me Nau Naha. Both of us. Shishya. Who are these two? Shishya and Acharya. Shishya Acharyav Saha Na Vavatu. Now is Shishya Acharyav. The Shishya and Acharya. Sahaiva means together. Saha Eva. Sahaiva. Avatu. Avatu means Rakshatu. Let God protect. Let the Supreme Being. Let the Supreme Being protect both of us. Saha Nau Avatu. Saha does not mean he. Saha is Sa and Ha. It is not a Visarga after Sa. Saha together. Now both of us Avatu. This may he or may Brahma, that mention is not there. It is to be assumed. It is to be taken as Adhyahara. Brahma Asma Nau Avatu. Then Saha Nau Bhunaktu Bhojayatu. Let us read.
Sahanau Bhunaktu Bhojayatu.
Saha Nau Bhunaktu. Nau means again Me Nau Naha. Both of us. Saha together. Bhunaktu. Bhunaktu means Palayatu. Bhunaktu means Palayatu. Palayatu means the meaning given generally is nourish. May he nourish both of us. Nourish means in what sense? Not giving food or anything. Not by giving food. Say this activity called teaching and listening has to go on in an uninterrupted way. In that way he has to nourish us. He has to allow us to continue like this. If you see this word Bhunaktu, it is similar to Tena Tyaktena Bhunjithaha. You have seen that word Tena Tyaktena Bhunjithaha Magrudha Kasya Siddhanam. So Bhunjithaha, there again Palayethaha. The meaning given was Palayethaha. That is, you conduct yourself in that way. So that is the meaning. So may he conduct us in this particular manner. May he allow us to prosper in this manner. So that is it. Go ahead in this manner. So Palayatu. Then Saha Viryam.
Saha Viryam.
Vidyadinimittam Samarthyam.
Vidyadinimittam Samarthyam.
Karavavahi Nirvartayavahi.
Karavavahi Nirvartayavahi.
Saha Viryam Karavavahi. Viryam means Samarthyam. Ability. That ability both for the teacher and also for the student. The teacher should have the ability to teach. The student should have the ability to grasp. So in fact this gentleman writes a very nice thing. Avayoho samarthyam apekshitam uhapohadi lakshanam. This Vanamalakara writes, samarthyam means apekshitam uhapohadi lakshanam tat sahitaveva nirvartayavaha ityartha. You see, the teacher also should have that enough imaginative ability. Uhapohadi lakshanam. You see, when I am teaching something, I have to cite some examples. I have to visualize some situation and then I have to give an example properly. And then the Shishya also should be able to visualize and then he should be able to receive it. So that is it. Samarthyam uha apekshitam uha pohadi lakshanam tat sahitaveva nirvartayavahi. That's what this Vanamalakara writes. So Vidyadinimittam Samarthyam Karavavahi means Nirvartayavahi. Nirvartanam means to conduct. Let us have this Viryam, let us have this Samarthyam. Saha Viryam Karavavahi Nirvartayavahi. May we go ahead in that manner. Then Tejasvi Nau Avayoho Tejasvinoho Adhitam Swadhitamastu. Tejasvi Navadhitamastu. So Tejasvi, you have to break it there. Navadhitam is now adhitam. Now means by us. Adhitam. That is whatever is learnt. Now adhitam. Whatever is learnt by both of us. Adhitam is read, let us say. Whatever is studied by both of us. Tejasvi astu. Tejasvi means very brilliant, very powerful. Astu, bhavatu. So let us, this is a wish. This is basically a benediction, isn't it? whatever we study, let it be Tejasvi, let it be brilliant, let it be say very powerful. So Tejasvi, you know the word Tejas. Tejas means something which is bright, brilliant. Tejaha is actually fire. Prithivyapas Tejo Vayurakasha. Fire is, it gives you both light and say heat, isn't it? So it should be very powerful to counter any arguments also. So that is what it is understood. So whatever we study, it should be powerful enough to counter any arguments also. Tejasvi, astu. Tejasvi now adhitam. Tejasvi now avayoho. Avayoho means of both of us. Adhitam, whatever has been studied. Tejasvi astu. Adhitam. Swadhitam astu. Suadhitam. Suadhitam means well received, well understood, well say digested. Astu. Then arthajnana yogyam astvityarthaha.
अर्थज्ञान योग्यम
अस्तु इत्यर्थः. Arthajnana yogyam. So let us imbibe the meaning. Let us imbibe the meaning of say these Upanishadic sentences. Let us properly understand the meanings, digest the meanings of these Upanishadic sentences, etc. So we will continue in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.